Hello, my sexy muffins, and welcome back to another video. Now, first of all, trigger warning, there will be mention of SA, the big R word, father doing it to a daughter who is a child, and all that stuff. So, yes, this happened to me, so I'm free to say it, and I have no shame in it for what happened to me. But do not pity me. I'm fine. I'm healing constantly from it. And also don't bash down on my dad for what he did. He's a dead man. He's unalived. He didn't get murderized by anyone. He come to his body's drug and alcohol and all that stuff. Also, he was an alcoholic and a drug addict. So his brain, most of the times, if not all the times, that he did this was when he was under the influence way gone, and physically he couldn't remember what he did by the time I was an adult and this came out, or by the time I came out and said he did it to me, because I repressed the memories of the essaying forced stuff because I was repressing it to survive. Now, I was about 13 ish. It was 8th grade, 13, after Thanksgiving, and it was where we had to go for court ordered visitations because he got that in the divorce. Originally, they were supervised, but then it came to be that no one knew I was SA'd or forced upon. So they didn't know this at the time, and I repressed the memories to survive. And I was starting to remember them at 13 after my first mental breakdown and first unaliving attempt. So, very intense. And basically, this is how it went down. I was there with my dad. My mom comes to pick us up, and it's me and my younger sister in the car, because it was just me and my younger sister, because my older sister had band practice or something, or was with friends and didn't have to go anymore, and my brother was doing whatever. I don't know. I don't remember, honestly. So we were in the car, but my mom started to notice after years of doing this that when I was alone with dad or had to go over for visitations, because they got divorced, like I was in 5th grade, I think, or 6th grade, one of the two. They start getting divorce proceedings done at 4th grade when they legally got separated. So it's been a while. It's been a while. And so I was racing down like I always do to get away because I was starting to remember this stuff. And my mom must have remembered when I was a child and she would come home, because the assaults of adult stuff happened when I was left alone with dad at night, because my mom worked the night shift and I would get called down because me and my sister would be arguing. My younger sister liked to have the TV on for background noise to fall asleep. I just like dead silence, but we shared a room at the time and all that. And so I would always, whenever my mom comes home and after I was assaulted, I would rush back upstairs like a bat out of hell type of thing. And I would do that after visitations now, which she hasn't seen in a long time. So we're driving back in the car. I'm in the front seat. We're sitting, and she finally asks, "Did dad ever touch you or do anything to you?" I broke down in silence, tears, just staring ahead and nodding my head. She did a U turn and was driving like a bat out of hell to go and unalive him. It took me and my younger sister screaming at her and calling our older sister off her mom's like flip phone. It was really old times. And we got her to my mom to calm down. She sat in the car just staring out the window with this expression that will haunt me for my life. And she was really contemplating, is it worth it to unalive him for what he did to my child, type thing. Luckily, she did not, so she didn't end up in jail. And we got the police contacted. She called them right away when we got home. They came the next day for a scheduled thing, and we talked about it. I decided I didn't want to press charges personally because I was only just starting to remember this stuff in the last few months, and I wasn't mentally stable to handle a court proceeding. I would have gotten buried and it would have ended up badly. So I decided not to press charges. And there was no physical evidence because it happened like years ago, almost a decade ago. Like, not a decade ago, but like close, you know? I was 13. It happened at earliest 7. So about 12 years, maybe. I don't know. I'm terrible with numbers. I'm not even making sense. But anyways, and the thing she did do, which this is where she is the best mom ever. She used a lot of money of hers when we had Biggerly in it because we were teeter totter in the poverty line. Like, you know, the bread store. You've probably heard that TikTok before of when you went to the bread store, and that is where poor people go to get old day bread. And you always thought it was the bread store. Well, that's what situation we were in growing up because my dad never had a job. He did drugs, alcohol, and wasted money. And my mom was basically working her job. Anyways, the point is, she made sure that I never had to see my father again and never had to be left alone with him again. And I hardly saw him for the next 5 years until, like, the longest time I saw him after that was like one Christmas, the Christmas before he died, and a few days before his birthday in June or July, one of the two. And when he was on his deathbed and we were saying goodbye to pull the plug. So yes, my mom, great homie G. She spent so much money in court to get me off of visitations, and my dad fought it, and she did not hold back. She was like, "It's either you, we take you." She was like, "No, I'm not letting my child go through that trauma every time she's forced to see you by a court order." So really give it up to my mom because that's some homie cheese stuff. Believe me instantly, didn't ask questions, and supported me, and I love her for it. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed, and please, if you have a good parent, may they be mom, dad, non-binary parents, baba, yeah, whatever, just love them if they are a good parent. Because I know some parents are horrendous and don't have the right to be called your parent if they are abusive. If you have abusive parents, it does get better. You can eventually leave them and never have to see them again. So just hang on there if you have that situation. Anyways, again, I hope that you all enjoyed what you could out of this. I hope it didn't make you too uncomfortable. And don't worry, I'm healing. I'm in therapy still. I might be in therapy the rest of my life for various things, but I am going through intensive care therapy for it so I can get taken care of. Anyways, stay sexy, all my sexy muffins, and happy early Mother's Day. Bye bye. This is the first one that was voted on. And there will be 4 more, possibly up to 4 more. I might not do them all this year. It depends if I get them. But this one had, at the time I'm recording, over 80% of the votes. So, of course, I thought I would do it. Anyways, stay sexy, all my sexy muffins. Happy early Mother's Day. Bye bye.